Welcome back to Third and Long on KCAT Radio. Back at the desk again. We're all sad. I mean, how do you feel? Let's dig into this. I don't want to speak for everybody else.
Are we talking about the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
or are we talking about
the Super Bowl?
About this being our last?
We'll have one more.
One more.
We're gonna have one more final.
My heart was broken. I was so sad coming in today.
We do have one more. Otherwise, this episode would have been a little more, let's say, festive, or we'll do some activities.
No cake.
We might even review some old episodes and kind of look back and do some funny moments or something like that. Wow, I did not expect to get into this first off. But yeah, we'll talk about the Super Bowl first, and we'll dive into that. So please, go ahead, Johnny Zane. What do you got?
Pacheco severely disappointed me.
Yeah.
That man needed 9 more yards. The fumble at the beginning of the game was too much.
Okay, this is betting, by the way, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
yes,
you lost your parlay.
Everything else did, bro.
Who came out positive on the weekend?
You did.
Me.
Ryan.
Me. I was close on 2.
Brian, you want to tell us about your parlay?
Yeah, give me your parlay.
Yeah,
I'll open mine.
I'll go for it. So, first leg was
Let me pull
an
those.
absolute, I would say probably my most risky one.
Okay.
It was Juwan Jennings over 1.5 receptions.
It's not risky at all.
I felt like it was, at least going in. My next one, which I also thought was a little risky, was the Elijah Mitchell over 4.5 rush
Dude,
plus
I did the
receiving
same
yards.
thing, and I thought both of them were locks, and I hit on both of them.
Okay, well, so did I.
So we're just dogs.
Okay, then I had Debo under 17.1 fantasy points.
Okay.
That was carefree for me. He got only 7.1. And then the last one, Mahomes over 22.3 fantasy points, which did not hit until overtime. So, and on that last touchdown,
Wow.
where he went over.
Okay, I got
So-
Mahomes over on passing yards, which hit pretty easy, and then Juwan Jennings, Elijah Mitchell, both for the same thing he did. So yeah, I think you guys might just be
We
silly.
had CMC for over on the receiving yards. His line was 33.5 and he got 80.
Yeah, that was a lock.
Moody for over a field goal and a half.
That was a lock.
He had 3. Pacheco for 64.5 rushing yards. He had 59.
That's a shame he didn't get as many yards.
He had that pitch back where he lost 15
You're
yards.
right, and that's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't think it was a bad bet. I also cooked up another one with my boy, and I think we were 1 MVS yard short, and
Yeah.
Why
and
would
like
you?
1
Why would you go on MVS?
Because it was 11, and I'm like, well, that's 1
It's
catch.
MVS.
That's
And
not
he
one
had it.
catch. He could have 3 catches
He
for
had
like 8
it, and
yards.
then later he caught a pass and ran backwards.
You're right. He did. Oh, I remember.
And then
Okay.
didn't they throw the ball right back to him the next
Yes,
play?
they did.
And the next one, I think Purdy was 1 rushing yard short.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of thought he
tough
would run a
round
little
for me.
more too. It
We're
was
just
weird.
unlucky.
So let's. I think I want to do this by positions. Is everyone okay with that? Let's
could
just
do
look
that.
at it. Let's look
do
at
it.
quarterback first because I want to get it out of the way. Obviously, I think Mahomes played a much better game, as expected. We didn't expect this to be a QB duel.
4 turnover game.
Yeah, that's not great.
He did
Not
throw
gonna
a
work.
horrible interception.
He threw a horrible interception. Despite this, I mean, can't give Patrick Mahomes the ball with time on the clock.
You gotta
It's
know
like
it's
it's a tale as old as time, and it seems to just be getting played over and over again. So Ryan, can you dig in some stats? for
Yes,
us?
so he went 333 yards.
Okay.
2 touchdowns, and then the interception. But also, I think most notable, he led the team in rushing.
Yeah.
He went 9 rushes for 66 yards. But
It's more than I thought.
Okay, 66 kind of elusive because if Pacheco just didn't throw the ball backwards and do a bunch of other stupid stuff, he probably would have been much higher than that. So I'd like to point out that stats a little misleading. But sorry, Ryan, threw your hand up.
I mean,
Sorry.
he's still
I'm
still
sorry.
led
I'm
the
sorry.
team.
He still did lead the team. You're right. Yeah, honestly, everyone's kind of like. So I work at Double D's and I was working the shift, and I'm running out, and I hear the crowd more than I see like a ton of the game. So there's a lot of watching back for me. But I'm hearing the crowd and I'm listening and I'm walking around, and no one was worried in the overtime. No one was scared. Some people were like head in hands and stuff like that. But it was kind of like. And then Mahomes just won the game.
Well, okay, a lot of
Then it
people
was
forgot.
over.
A lot of people forget about the overtime rule being
We
changed.
can let's dig into that really quick about that.
Like people
have to
just
take
they're like
second.
overtime. We have the ball first. Oh my gosh, we win.
So let's dig
They
into
forget
this
that Josh Allen's a crybaby.
Let's dig into this really quick. So what it used to be was whoever gets the ball first had a huge advantage because they score a touchdown on that first drive, the other team didn't get the ball. They changed the playoff overtime rules, and a lot of people didn't hear about it because it was kind of one of the things they slipped under, and it kind of just like brushed over.
because it came from one player complaining and crying about
yeah,
it.
I mean, okay, it's
I
fair.
think every team voted
This-
for it except for like one.
Yeah,
agreed
this
that they needed it.
this rule is better,
I agree.
but
It's only in playoffs.
I also think that's good. I think overtime, why not? End it quickly. But yeah, playoffs, you need to have something like that. The fact that Andy Reid had multiple meetings the week of and the week before, consisting overtime rules and their game plan, I mean, is a testament to his coach or his ability. But like, yeah, you have to pick the game. You have to pick it second. Zane already said the important part.
There's no reason not to. If you get a stop, you automatically win. If they go, you give yourself a chance. Being first is just a disadvantage with these rules.
It is. If both teams get the ball, being first is not where you want to be. And I think it was crazy
Also,
that they said it was.
I don't believe it's on the coaches. If you're in the NFL, you should know the rules.
Yeah, if you're out there picking heads or tails,
There
you should
shouldn't
probably
be multiple
yeah.
players on a team being like, I didn't understand the rules. That is on you.
Yeah, it's,
You literally play in a league, the highest level that you possibly
Juszczyk,
can.
You went to Harvard. Know the rules
yeah.
of the game
Juszczyk
you're
did
playing,
go to Harvard.
bro.
Well, okay, he didn't have a. Juszczyk did say he didn't know it.
Yeah.
Man
He was the
also
big guy that said he
took a
didn't.
flight during the Super Bowl. I mean, just hurdle somebody opening play.
Oh, yeah.
He did do that.
That was kind of dope, actually. I
That
kind of
was
respected
awesome.
it.
I like
Just
that.
do it.
Yeah.
First, why
Dude,
not?
Great way to set the tone.
Yeah, I agree.
Great
So
way to
let's
lose,
go. Let's
too.
go quarter by quarter. Actually, before we dive into more positionals, I want to talk about receivers after. But let's dive into quarter by quarter. So what did first quarter look like score wise?
So the first quarter, like you want to know, just it was 0-0. The first quarter.
Yeah, I
ended
know. First
0-0.
quarter was terrible. So let's move into the second.
And then we got Niners scored 10.
Yeah.
Chiefs got the field goal. So at halftime, it was 10-3.
Yeah, that field goal felt like a weird flip. It felt like almost like the Lions game where the Niners scored right before the Lions went into the half, and it was like, oh, it would have been better if they hadn't done that. It was a momentum shift. Only being down 7 did kind of put a little bit of pressure on the Niners.
And then I think the third quarter is the biggest because the Chiefs scored 10 with the Niners 0.
Yeah.
So that really switched things. And then fourth quarter, Niners got 9. I don't remember. I think extra point got blocked,
Yes.
right? And then
Yeah,
the
That
field
was
goal.
huge.
That was insane.
And then
Special
the
teams.
Chiefs scored 6. I think it was 2 field goals.
Yes.
And then we had overtime, as we know. Niners went down, kicked a field goal, and then the Chiefs came back.
And the game
scored.
ended 23-20, right?
Yeah, 25-22.
25.
Yeah.
So I remember us all agreeing that the Niners had to put up 28 if they wanted any chance at winning this game. And we were right. So, little round of applause for
Also,
everybody. Great job.
Chiefs special
Well done,
teams
fellas.
unit played phenomenal.
Yeah.
The
Special
entire
teams wins game. The muffed punt that they immediately recovered. That's a huge
I don't
play.
remember which team did it, but there was one play
It was the
where
Niners.
it was the Niners.
I think so.
Were they receiving?
There was that one guy that just flew down the
Yeah,
field.
he
and
just
kept
flew down the
wrecking
field
guys,
and he
three
like
plays in a
dove
row.
over the guy
Yeah.
with his hand on the ball, and like the guy does like a flip, and I'm like, how did the ball not come out there?
Ball security, fellas.
Dude, he has the ball
Ball
like
security.
this.
Yeah,
he's
and he
being
just
yanked backwards
No,
by it.
fantastic play.
As a fan of a singular guy on the Niners named Ray McLeod,
Yeah.
I was so happy when I learned that wasn't his fault.
It wasn't.
I thought it was, and I was
So
like,
did I.
dang, the only guy I wanted
So why
to
wasn't it
do-
his fault? Let's talk about it. real
Oh,
quick,
it
just
hit that one guy's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a heads-up play. Probably smart to just fall on it. But I can also understand seeing 70 yards of grass in front of you and being like,
I want
I'm
it,
a
yeah.
returner. I need to return this.
I mean, we always say not on the second bounce or not off a deflect. Like, you just poison, leave it.
But once it hits a foot, you can't. You got to pick it up.
Wait, it hit a Niner or it hit a...
It hit a Niner.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so
You're
he
right.
had to pick it up. He
Okay.
could have just fallen, but I see what he saw.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's one of those things they'll get yelled at for, and then, like, 2 days later, they'll be like, okay, it wasn't really your fault, I get it, but, like, you know. I still think in the Super Bowl you should just fall on it.
Yeah.
In any big time scenario where you need the ball and you need points, you should never try and get greedy and run with it
Yeah,
because
no,
you're
when
just
you
going
get
to
greedy,
turn the
you
ball over. You're going to make stupid decisions and stupid mistakes, and that's the last thing that your team needs.
I will say, as much as everyone was like, well, the Chiefs were not a better team, they did kick 2 field goals in big scenarios that if they had scored
They were-
touchdowns in would have ended the game
The
quickly.
Niners looked better. They just didn't
Yes.
feel like winning the
Yes.
football
The
game.
Chiefs
agree.
were a smarter team. They
Yeah.
played the game much smarter.
Yeah,
The Niners went into it and they tried to set the tone early.
they did.
They succeeded until the second half.
Yeah. No, honestly, that second quarter was pretty brutal, too. I understand scoring 10, but, like,
You can't let up points going
kicking
into the
field
half.
goals really annoys me.
Well, because when you come back out of that tunnel, you're thinking like, oh, I have a 2-possession game. This is going to take way longer, way more effort has to go into this. Now we're only down by a touchdown.
Well, they gave the ball to the Chiefs, too. So the Chiefs could say, okay, we're going out on offense. We could tie the game in 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, no, it's really not a big deal. And that's not something you want to be. You don't want to be in that position in a big game, right? Let's talk about tight ends really quick.
Wait, we're still talking about quarterbacks. I think Purdy played bad.
He did.
He did.
He missed so many open passes. I've
Yep.
talked to multiple Niner fans who have been trying to cope, and they've been trying to tell me he didn't play good. and it
Dude,
was
people are trying
everyone
to say
else's
that
fault.
Purdy played great, and I'm like, no, he did not.
Watch the football game.
I said this last week to even James. I
The
was like,
best pass
Brady's
of
gonna
the
lose
day
his
was
job.
by his receiver, not even him.
Dude, I saw a thing where it was saying that he wasn't even in the top 3 of quarterbacks that were there, and they said that Tony Romo was better because he was laying down some good commentary.
Well,
and,
actually, top 4
Juwan Jennings.
because Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
put Juwan Jennings at
picked him.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Over
great
Tony
throw.
Romo.
Also, really cool play to pull out in the Super Bowl. I like this whole new thing where like teams are pulling out plays out of like random areas on the Super Bowl. 'Cause it's the last thing.
It's just fun to see
move.
something spontaneous and random.
Steelers ran very similar play in 2006 to win the Super Bowl.
No, I mean like
You're seeing it more in the NFL.
you're seeing it more,
Yeah.
and like
That was the second.
the Philly special kind of like
Yeah,
did that. Now people are doing a bunch of cool plays. In the
That
Super
was the
Bowl.
second receiver to throw a touchdown in a Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
First was Antoine Randall up.
Fair enough.
Antoine
That
Randall.
is something that only Zane would. Oh, did they show it on the screen?
They did, but
Okay.
I did know that.
Of course he did.
He knows a lot of
I
things.
know my Steeler things.
I want to talk about tight ends really quick, just to highlight a couple things. So let's start with George Kittle.
He got bullied.
Yeah.
all
Yep,
night.
got bullied all
He
night.
went 2
With a
receptions for
vengeance.
4 yards.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Can't do that as a tight end. I don't care, even if you're the 49ers and you have a bunch of great wide receivers and Christian McCaffrey, your tight end still has to be working, and he looked like crap. So,
On the other hand, Kelsey, 9 for 93.
yeah.
Most for second half too, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
like I think he had
was
like
pretty quiet first
25
half.
in the first half or something like that.
What do we
so.
think of him yelling at Andy Reid?
After it came out what he said, and after it came out that Andy Reid like walked over to him later and was like, "That was out of line," but like I hear you and like you're right, you should have been on the play for that. And the fact that like it all got cleared up and everybody blew it out of proportion kind of made me just like, okay, cool.
I think that it's more so that football culture where you do not ever speak to a coach like that.
I
Like,
agree. However, I don't mean to cut you off here,
Well,
but
gotta
the
use
new culture
context.
is more adult to adult. It's less like you'd never yell at your high school coach like that. You'd never yell at your college coach like
No,
that.
but,
But in the
like,
pros, you're both adults.
it's
so it's
it's
looked at
this
differently.
it's this concept of respect
I
within the
agree.
game,
I
right?
agree.
Like you never see a guy like Brady going up to a coach and doing that, right?
Yeah, he
that would
did.
be the end of the
He did it
world.
so many times.
Dude,
What-
remember how many iPads he broke yelling at coaches?
Yeah, Brady was yelling
Brady
at coaches
threw
all
on
day.
iPads
Brady
was
was yelling.
different.
Brady'd
What
yell
I-
at his quarterback and OC coach like crazy.
Not like that though. Not
yeah,
like,
like
how
that.
Kelsey
Brady
did it.
doesn't get in people's faces, but he'll yell and scream and pout.
All that I'm saying is that if I'm a coach and I see big man Travis Kelsey just right here yelling in my ear, he's benched for the rest of the game. I don't care who
No.
he is. Yes.
You also
That
have to think with context, right?
that shows poor leadership
Yeah.
skill. You can't do that.
That
Oh,
I'm a
we
poor
could've run
leader,
we
but
Apparently.
we
as
could've
a head
won
coach,
ring,
you
but I
should-
benched maybe our best player the whole game.
Probably your second best
Okay,
player in the
You
total.
got to use context. Travis Kelsey just watched a play where he wasn't in, where the backup tight end got swim moved, and then that guy forced a fumble on the running back.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there like, I am potentially the best tight end of all time. Why am I not in on this play?
Yes.
There's no reason I shouldn't be in on this play.
If he was some scrub receiver in the Super Bowl that wanted to come out and be like, I should be getting. If Kadarius Toney came off the bench
Yeah,
and started yelling at
okay.
people, I'd be like, yeah, that guy should get fired and probably fined a lot of money. But he's one of the best tight ends of all time, and to say, I don't like the yelling. That's my only thing. The yelling and the bump is the only thing. If he was back a little bit and was yelling,
Completely
pretty
different
much,
story.
Sure, the bump was what got me a little bit, but even then, I'm like, you know what? Heated moment. Andy Reid even said like it wasn't that hard. I kind of just lost my balance.
I just feel like as a head coach in the NFL, you need to demand respect from your players, and you have to set the tone somewhere.
Yeah, let's set the tone in the Super Bowl by benching my best player.
We can criticize.
That'll work. We can
Andy
criticize
Reid all
Andy
he
Reid.
wants, but the guy all he does is win.
Yeah.
So.
This is true.
What happened. You know,
This is
can't
true.
change what did.
So the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. I mean, everyone's saying Mahomes is now the new GOAT, and it hasn't even been like 4 years since Brady retired. So I'm just confused now. I
Well,
don't know what to think. You guys think
His
he's
stats
the
are
new
better
GOAT?
in every category, and he's
This is
doing it
true.
quicker.
This is true.
They're saying he's on pace to be the GOAT. But, I mean, things change.
I just hear I hear it changing.
I
from
remember-
on pace to the GOAT.
Yeah, no, I hear it changing. So
I
much.
remember when Antonio Brown was on pace to be in front of Jerry Rice, and I remember what happened after. So, he's not the GOAT until the career's over.
Hey, he
He's
got
gotta
he
finish
got a
it
whole
third.
lot of money.
Whole lot of money.
This is fair. I mean, I'm just so
His Twitter's amazing.
people are. This is the same with Brady and the Patriots. Everyone started hating the Patriots, not just because they were like the Patriots, but because they were good. I don't hate the Patriots anymore.
They were also cheating.
This is true. This is true. That's a big reason, if not the reason. But
You're also Broncos fan.
we beat them a couple of years.
I'm just saying Brady Manning.
That is the bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's fair. This is fair. But I'm sensing the same thing. Why do the Broncos just play these like super teams, man?
Super teams.
Well, no, but like the Chiefs are
Steelers
really
are in
good.
the hardest division maybe ever right now.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm sad that football's over.
I'm sad that football's over too.
It's
We have
basketball
nothing to
time
talk about now. It's not basketball time.
It is
I don't like
basketball.
basketball.
No.
that
Where's the
much.
ball? It's time to hop
You
on.
want to switch to hockey, Matt?
Yeah,
Baseball.
okay.
Yeah. let's-
I'm thinking baseball.
I'm good with baseball.
Ew.
All right, Zane. Get out of here.
He's watching Stephen Curry. He's on a historical 7-game streak right now.
This
All
is true.
right, all right.
And I'm tired of basketball. We're not a basketball podcast.
Nope,
That's a
basketball.
football guy right there.
Yeah. Get
He's
it
not a
right.
Baseball guy.
No, it's not a
Yeah.
baseball guy either.
No.
All right. Be like contact.
We're all better
I
now.
feel like the defense has played great, and I would like to say Trey McDuffie balled out.
Yeah,
He covered great. He played a great game.
Snead played great too. It was like the cornerbacks played really good.
They did what I said they should
DBs
do.
did what they had to do.
Yeah, they didn't play like they did against the Packers.
Nope.
They didn't play 15 yards off with
Yep.
huge gaps in the field.
They played good.
They did much better.
Bummer of a Super Bowl though.
The
if I'm
DBs
being
do
honest.
just acquire butter hands when Purdy throws at them, though. That is still a thing. I don't know how he does it, but he does just keep doing it.
All too true.
All right, guys. Well,
We're closing. This is officially the second to last.
second to last officially.
This is officially
So we
the
have
second
one
to last.
more.
We have one more.
We
We're
have
doing
one more episode.
Yes, and it's going to be a cool episode.
Do they need to tune in for that?
Yeah, they have to tune in for that.
I think they
That
should.
is the episode. You have to
You hear
tune in
that?
for that.
You guys
You
better
should
tune in. Tune in next
Tune
week
in.
for our post
Tune
Super
in.
Bowl postseason updates. Hope to see you guys there. I'm Johnny. This is Matt. Hi. Zane on the third and long set. James, Ryan. See you guys next week.